Welcome to the BICU Scholars Forum, where faith meets knowledge, where the church and the academy unite, and where ideas transform the world. BICU Scholars Forum. Religion, science, culture, and truth. Inspiring minds, empowering voices, shaping the future for me and you. Now, let the conversation begin. The Scholars Forum is calling you. Thank you for joining the BICU Scholars Forum, where scholarship meets purpose. BICU. BICU.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to our space, Baldwin Scholars Forum, a space in which we seek to make the complex simple. You are in a special space. Welcome to Baldwin Scholars Forum. I'm your host, or one of your hosts, Clinton Baldwin, and I'm here with your favorite host as well, my goodly wife, Andrea Baldwin. It's good to have you, Dr. Baldwin. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You doing good?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
You enjoying this podcast?
Well, yes. I mean, it's an opportunity to share some of these complexities with, the average man, in his taxi, going about his day, just
Enjoying
nice,
these things.
wonderful people who, over the years, have had many of these questions, but not too sure where to go to for an answer. Because let's face it, having been a church girl, growing up in the church, there are some questions that might not have a ready audience.
Good.
In some circumstances, if you're asking these questions, your faith in God might be questioned.
Questions. And you're seen as not being so spiritual.
You can pick up on things that some things are not appropriate to be asked. But those questions are with you anyway.
So true. So
and
true.
That's why, I was really glad when you came 33 years ago.
And so and you're glad to be on my podcast, huh?
Oh, well.
Our podcast, I should say. So let me tell you.
No, what I'm saying is it's nice to be able to engage with these kinds of
I enjoy them too. And
for the benefit of all of us.
Yeah, definitely.
There is the expression, we don't really know who wrote it. It's an unknown author. But the initial saying is, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Yes.
Then it became translated later on, added to, embellished, talk about orality, where it became, a rising tide lifts all ships.
Exactly.
So whether it's boat or ships,
it's lifting.
Something is being lifting. And we want to lift humanity by adding value to an understanding of the word.
So you're saying then that you would recommend that our viewers subscribe to this channel?
That's a very good idea.
That they follow us on Facebook?
Yes, that's the way we can get the word out. And not just subscribe, but share. If we have good fresh bread, why not share it with the rest of the world?
Yes.
A guest comes to your house, you're going to give them the best.
Of course.
Here we're inviting guests into our home, so to speak.
Exactly.
Figuratively and literally. To share our fresh bread. And we just want to thank God for the opportunity that indeed we've had the chance to study the word and to now share it from the perspective of the university.
So what have you been studying about?
Well, we've been discussing orality.
What is that?
And the relevance to the Bible.
What on earth is that?
The nexus between orality.
Nexus and orality. Yes. Break it down, man.
What I'm saying is that many times we pick up this.
What is this? The Bible?
Yeah, the 66 books, right?
All right.
Our holy writ. Our holy scriptures, right?
Correct.
Because other people in different cultures have their holy writ, their holy scriptures as well. This is ours for the Christians.
Good.
Did you say for the Jews? Because a large part
the
of
Old Testament.
Jews,
The Old Testament.
For the Jews and the Christians.
Yes.
But the Muslims, they have their own
Correct.
Quran. All right. Anyway, this is ours.
Correct.
So what I'm saying here is that it is so nice that we can talk about how this holy writ, these written words, this text, was actually developed. And from what we've been discussing, we find that through this process of orality, over hundreds and thousands of years,
Yes,
these words have been in formation and development and embellishment
so
and
are you
change till we get it here
so are you
in textual form.
suggesting that the Bible was written and rewritten, Mrs. Baldwin?
Well, I wouldn't say the Bible was written and rewritten. I'd rather say, from what I've been hearing, is the manuscripts that were written and rewritten that eventually became this. Yes.
It's the same thing.
It's
in
the
a
same
sense,
thing?
yes.
But when you add the layers, we were talking about compositional layers earlier on. When you bring in the whole business of language and translations and transliterations too, and some other things.
Okay.
Can you say it's the same thing?
Yes and no.
Okay.
In the sense that what you're speaking of there is the manuscript tradition, which eventually is synthesized into this text, but the manuscript tradition is still being considered because this text is still being fine-tuned and refined, etc. Yes, even now we have different edition of the Greek and Hebrew text, which we will come to.
Yes.
You see?
So as you speak of that, you're saying we're still refining the text, right?
In a sense, yes. Right. In a sense, yes.
But the canon is closed. That's another
There's a
story.
difference between canon and the growth and development and the refining and the understanding of individual books.
Okay. And that is why maybe we have
different edition, for example, of the Greek Bible, of the Hebrew Bible, etc.
And different English versions too, right?
Different English versions too, which is another story. Because we are thinking about the original. But let's get back to our point. We're talking about orality
and fixity and flexibility.
Yes, and orality has to do with the communication of information from word of mouth from one person to the other. And we're saying that the written text that we eventually have in our scriptures is a dimension, bears all the hallmarks and the DNA of orality.
Oh, man.
And when we look at the scriptures itself, we notice, for example, there is differences in stories. There's fixity and flexibility.
Yeah, that was one of the essential characteristics
that we looked at, and we looked at perform for the specific needs of the community.
For example, we talked about one version, Matthew speaking about let not your flag be on the winter on the Sabbath day, and Mark omitted on the Sabbath day, right?
Right.
So that was consideration for the specific needs of the community. Okay.
So the information is being retold for the specific needs of the community.
Yes.
And we looked at also it was being retold in light of the present situation.
Give me an example of that again.
We look at Mark 13:16, Luke 21, verse 8, in which Mark has in the last days, false prophets will come.
Yes.
And, and then now, Luke, in light of the current situation of his time, a delayed eschaton, he said that
big words.
Delayed
in the return of
Jesus. He said that false prophets would say the time is near.
So again, as in the previous podcast, I say, if Luke was recognizing the distance between when Jesus said he would have returned and his time and seeing a delay, my goodness, if there is a further delay for over 2,000 years, can we still say that Jesus is soon to come?
Why
we say it all the time.
Yes, why not say he's returning?
Oh.
Because what happens is that when we say coming soon, there is a sense in which we are setting a date,
Is that right?
We may not be setting a specific date, but at least we are setting a time frame, some parameters.
Yes.
It's within our lifetime. But if you had said to my mother that she would die before Jesus returned, then she would say no.
It would have been in her lifetime.
Yes.
We all think it's going to be within our lifetime, huh?
Faith is saying to us, trust in God,
whenever
that
he comes,
he's going to come.
So, but when we say he's coming soon, that might be a bit misleading, would you say?
Maybe we are setting up ourselves.
Or misconstruing
yes,
the information?
The information. Yeah, this is best to say he's returning.
Yes.
He's coming.
He will return.
And also, too, more importantly, to stay ready for his return. And that's another dimension we talk about too, because many times we talk about getting ready. I prefer to say, as I say in my book, Method of Biblical Interpretation, just stay ready. Because the gospel is saying that you have been made ready to an extent that you cannot be made more ready when you are in Christ. When you're in Christ. That's his whole business of justification by faith and salvation, and how we receive salvation and something. Wow, we get into that in another conversation. We are looking at orality and the biblical text, and we're saying that the biblical text is a dimension of oral communication. When you pick up your Bible, a book in the ancient world was a dimension of orality. Reading a book in the ancient world meant hearing it read. Because it is an oral text, it has the characteristics of orality, and one that we want to look at today. Maybe look at one or two characteristics for this episode. We don't know the time. Chronological inconsistencies.
And using big words again. What does that
chronological inconsistencies in terms of the sequencing, in terms of the events. So one person is saying that the event happened at this time, point in time. Another person is saying another time.
Maybe a later time.
A later time or earlier time, etc. Let's look at an example.
That could relate to the time when the person was actually writing it too, Clinton.
Of course, of course. John 12, 13 to the 22.
Yes.
Jesus cleansed the temple at the beginning of his ministry.
Okay.
His ministry as compared to Matthew, Mark, and Luke, in which the temple was cleansed at the end of his ministry.
Now, how do you explain that? John is not one of the synoptics, right?
No.
The synoptic gospels. The three gospels said it was at the end of his ministry. John would have been written even later, 90 years later?
Yes, John is believed to have been in the 90s.
So why should we take John's account over the synoptic gospels account?
Before we go to that,
okay,
let's just clarify for our listeners.
Yes.
John, according to the ministry of Jesus, lasts roughly, we would say, for about 3 years.
Okay.
So if John is saying that he cleansed the temple at the beginning of his ministry, and the synoptics, Matthew, Mark, Luke, those are called the synoptic gospels, just in case anyone may not know that. Matthew, Mark, Luke are called the synoptic gospels.
Yes.
In those gospels, the event of the cleansing of the temple occurred at the end of Jesus' ministry 3 years later.
Yes.
When did it happen?
Yes.
The point is that in an oral culture in which the information is being recorded and passed on word of mouth, and written down as such, then from time to time you have chronological inconsistencies, difference in the timing, etc. You see, once you're saying something, then it gets changed.
The game of telephone or the game of gossip, right?
Exactly.
As primary school children, elementary school children, you start with a story and you pass it to your friends. My goodness, by the time you get to the last friend,
it's sometimes a totally different story.
So these people, they were hearing word of mouth, word of mouth. So some people got it that it was at the end of the ministry that the temple was cleansed. And some others got it that it was at the beginning.
Right.
What we don't know for sure is when, but we know that it actually happened.
Yes, because you see, also
the temple was
cleansed. Remember now that to a certain extent, and I'll get into this another time, is that writing when it was cleansed also factors into the theology or the message that the gospel writers want to communicate.
Interesting.
So if it is more appropriate to say it was cleansed at the beginning, based on, it was said there. Another example is coming to my mind, just needs of the community. It is like, for example, in the book of John versus the synoptics, Jesus is crucified at different times.
Oh, wow.
In John, Jesus crucified at the time when the Passover lamb was sacrificed. Because in John's theology, Jesus is the Lamb of God.
Yes.
So he had Jesus crucified, I think, I don't remember the specific time, you can look at it. But it has one time, I think, around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Right?
Okay.
Where the synoptics, I think, is crucified around 9 o'clock or different time.
Yeah. When
different
was
time.
He crucified?
Right. The point is, it's
sure.
not just the factuality of crucifixion that they are concerned about, but it's the message of crucifixion. And so the historical reality now will be nuanced to align with the message that was intended for the audience.
So if someone wanted to go query what you're saying about the difference in the synoptic Gospel's presentation of the temple, cleansing of the temple, what references do you have for them? What references do you have for
John 12, I'm sorry, St. John 2, 13 through the 22.
Oh, no, that's not part of the synoptics. Give us the synoptics first.
Okay, you see, when you have bright people on your show, you have to be so careful. All right, okay. John 2, 13 to 22 is not the synoptics, but that the reference when the temple was cleansed.
And that was at the beginning of Jesus' ministry.
Good. And then now Mark 11, 15 through to 18.
Yes.
Matthew 21, 12 through to 16.
Yes.
Luke 19, 45 to 47.
Okay.
Mrs. Borden, if you could pause a little bit, maybe I could just share this on the screen. I can just hear some people saying, why not just put it on the screen and share it on the screen? I'm just going to share
to support our audience,
this on the screen
so
that...
But you have to open up your slides, Dr. Borden.
Okay. All right.
Presentation.
Okay, good.
Very good.
So here we are. So it's on the screen here.
Yes, this is good.
Right. And the other examples are here as well. Because the healing of Bartimaeus. Yes. According to Matthew 12, 46 to 52.
Matthew 10, right?
Matthew 10, 46 to 52. Jesus healed Bartimaeus on leaving Jericho.
Oh, wow.
According to Luke 18, what happened?
There was two blind men.
Two blind men while entering Jericho. So that is a difference in timing and sequencing of the events.
Chronological inconsistency.
That happens when events are communicated orally. We have another example on the screen.
Yes.
Matthew 2, 13 through to 15. This is a big one. Jesus' family fled to Egypt after his birth.
Okay.
Herod came after the family and they took off in Jamaican terms for Egypt.
Yes.
According to Luke 2, 21 through to 23.
Yes.
The family remained in Bethlehem for at least 40 days, then returned to Nazareth.
So they did not go into Egypt at all?
Where Luke is concerned. I think we should read that, Mrs. Borden. I think we should read that for our listeners.
That is interesting.
Luke chapter 2, 21. You don't mind reading from me, please?
Yes.
Luke chapter 2, here it is.
21 to 23.
Yes.
And I have my glasses.
Yes.
Luke chapter 2, verse 21.
And we just break it down as you read.
All right. This Bible, because it's new, it leaves us.
You want to borrow my Bible?
Your Bible too heavy, man.
My Bible is a better Bible anyway, huh?
Yeah. Okay. That's debatable, you know. All right. So this says Luke 2, 21 to 23. When the 8th day came, it was time to circumcise the child, and he was called Jesus, the name given by the angel before he was conceived in the womb. When the time came for their purification according to the law of Moses, they brought him up to Jerusalem and to present him to the Lord. As it is written in the law of the Lord, every firstborn male shall be designated as holy to the Lord. Yes? Should I stop there?
That will be enough. That will be enough.
Okay.
So let's just break it down briefly in the context, huh?
Yes.
what do we have here?
Yes.
Luke is saying
Mm-hmm.
that when 8 days had passed after the birth of Jesus,
Yes.
before his circumcision,
Yes.
his name was called Jesus,
Yes.
the name given by the angel before he was conceived in the womb.
Mm-hmm.
So at least 8 days passed.
Yes.
He was still there where he was born.
Mm-hmm.
And then now verse 22 is instructive. And when the days for their purification according to the law of Moses were completed,
Yes.
they brought him to Jerusalem to present him to the Lord.
It's about 40 days.
That's to be according to Leviticus chapter 12 and Exodus chapter 13, thereabout, Numbers chapter 3.
Mm-hmm.
The mother would have to engage in some purification rites.
Yes.
40 days after birth, it was a
Yes.
male baby. Around 80 days after birth, it was a female child. So when the days of her purification, she went to the temple to offer the sacrifices as was prescribed by Leviticus and the Numbers.
Okay.
So at least 48, 50, 60 days would have ensued after Jesus was born in the same locality where he was born. So you have a chronological inconsistency there because according to Matthew, he would have been in Egypt at this time. According to Luke, he was still in Bethlehem where he was born. Chronological inconsistency. Let's check out one from the Old Testament now.
Okay.
Numbers chapter 10 verse 6. We are pressing for time. Numbers 10 verse 6. Aaron died in one place. According to Deuteronomy, chapter, did I say Numbers?
Yeah.
That's be Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 6.
Yes.
Versus Numbers chapter 22, 1 through to 29.
Yes.
Aaron died at 2 different places.
How is that possible?
According to Deuteronomy,
yes,
10:6, he died at Mosera, place called Mosera. According to Numbers, he died at Mount Hor.
Wow.
However, if he died at Mosera, he could not have arrived at Kadesh, to which the Israelites journeyed after leaving Mosera. In addition, he played a prominent role in the events of Kadesh, then from there to Mount Hor. It's like saying that he died in New York and then they journeyed to Washington, D.C. If he died in New York, he couldn't have journeyed to Washington, D.C. See? So in other words, according to Deuteronomy, he died at Mosera in New York. According to Numbers,
he died in D.C.
He journeyed from New York to D.C. and died in D.C.
How is that possible?
Chronicle inconsistencies. Orality. The information is being, passed on word of mouth from one person to another, and it gets changed. Let's look at one other one, then clinch it for this program.
Okay.
We have on the same occasion, the same words assigned to different speakers.
Okay, this is another
characteristic of orality.
That's present in the Bible. Give us some
different
examples,
persons uttering them. Mark 6:14, Matthew 14 verse 2,
yes,
and Luke 9:7. In comparison.
Yes.
So in Matthew 6 verse 14, it was Herod.
Okay.
The word Herod, who said John the Baptist was risen from the dead.
Okay.
According to Luke 7, some people say that John the Baptist was risen from the dead.
So let's unpack that a little bit. We have the same occasion, right?
Good.
The same event happening.
Yes.
And we have the same words or similar words, but they're assigned to different people, right?
Assigned to different.
In Mark and Matthew, it's Jesus speaking, or reportedly so.
No. In Mark and Matthew, it is Herod who is speaking.
Okay, Herod, yes.
Yes.
Pardon me, yeah.
And in Luke, it is some people.
Okay, so what we see here is that we have the same occasion or event occurring, right? And the same words being spoken. But it's different persons who are speaking those words, right? So as you're showing here on the screen, in Mark and Matthew, we have Herod speaking about John the Baptist, right? But in Luke, another writer, we see the reference to
Some people.
Not Herod.
Not Herod.
How do you account for that?
Let's look at two other examples and then we punch a point there.
All right.
Mark 10:21. Jesus is reported on that same occasion as saying, one thing you lack. To I think the rich young ruler.
Yes.
Matthew 15:26. The ruler is the one who asks, what do I lack?
Whoa.
You know, the whole...
Two different speakers.
Same occasion.
Similar words.
Similar words.
Yes.
Mark 14:49. Jesus, this is done that the scriptures might be fulfilled. According to Mark, Jesus is saying, this is done that the scriptures might be fulfilled.
Yes.
According to Matthew 26:56, it is the author, Matthew, is saying, this is done that the scriptures might be fulfilled.
Who spoke?
Who spoke?
Different speakers, definitely, right?
Correct.
Same event, similar words.
And this brings us to something very, very important.
Tell me about it.
And I promise you that we will do a full-blown presentation on that. And that is, as the stories are told and retold, words are placed on the lips of characters. Even on the lips of God.
And Jesus.
In the Old Testament and Jesus, yes.
That is a serious statement, you know.
It is indeed a serious statement, and it can be nerve-wracking, and it can be discombobulating. But guess what? We are encouraged to study the scriptures and study carefully.
As the Bereans did,
exactly,
right?
And these are what we find. And by the way, these are discussions in the halls of academia.
Right.
So
and
people doing
our objective is bringing the academy to the
So a person doing a PhD or a master's degree in biblical studies would take this for granted in a certain classroom.
Right. You wouldn't ask these questions.
You wouldn't ask these questions.
Yeah,
because they're givens. They're givens. Because the evidence is overwhelming.
Well, Dr. Baldwin, to the average person who just goes to church and going to read the Bible, have faith, hope, all of these good things. We really need to take time out to help our folk to understand that there's more to
this.
Written text.
There's more to it, man.
You know, when I first became knowledgeable of this, I considered that when I was studying a little bit about Shakespeare in preparation for O-levels.
Back in the olden days.
You used to have to now put yourself in the frame of mind of what occurred in the life setting of Shakespeare. The English countryside, right?
Right.
All those characters took it to Rome and different places, right? Why should we divorce ourselves from a similar mindset when we are studying the Bible? I think one of the reasons is that we just see this as words coming out of heaven to us. Inspiration, hence don't really question it.
Right.
Just take what is given on the page. And it took me some time to recognize that God was not going to hurt me if I were to question what's on the pages. Because again, there's that psychological lingering thought, notion, feeling that, maybe it's not so right to question.
But the issue is,
question the
but
Holy
Mrs. Baldwin,
my goodness.
Listeners, we're not really questioning it.
Yes, you're questioning
what we are doing.
That's why they're gonna say you're questioning the Bible. Are you really questioning Dr. Baldwin?
No, what we are actually doing.
There's something wrong with your head, Dr. Baldwin.
Oh boy. No, what we're actually doing, let me think about it. We are simply reading it carefully.
Yes. And what is wrong
with
that?
Responsible reading. That's what it is.
And it happens in all walks of life.
In every discipline.
It better happen. Because if a doctor who has not taken time out to understand
or to question the results of what?
Or those tests that you go, he could really prescribe some serious medicine.
That's how we have technology. That's how we can.
If a lawyer takes your case
Mm-hmm.
and does not carefully analyze the specific issues that are being presented, he's going to offer a wrong argument and you're going to lose the case and he might end up in prison, right?
And
similarly, any professional, they
you got a
have to
question
contend
yeah,
with
and
the content of their discourse or
of
discipline.
course. And God is not up there in heaven looking down and ready with a big stick to zap you
Well,
if you question.
that is part of
the psyche. It is wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong.
Conceptualization that came down to us, right?
Yeah, no, God is not going to zap you. You have a responsibility to read critically, to read carefully.
Yes.
Why should you read Matthew and see Matthew saying X in one situation and not just read Mark and see that Mark is saying Y on the same situation and ask the question or seek to probe what is happening here? That's basically what we're doing
So
here.
you're doing a horizontal reading.
Horizontal reading. It's a responsible reading.
Yes.
And that's all there is to it. And then, of course, questions,
are going to emerge.
But what is wrong with questioning God and every God thing? You think God is afraid of you questioning him?
Well, it's not really that God is afraid. We are afraid.
We are afraid.
We were
that is so
taught
to
that
be
is not
afraid.
appropriate. We should just take the words on the page and do. So that goes to what we're discussing here. I see has relevance to how we conduct our lives.
Of course.
So instead of getting up and just doing, that is reading a memory text, tick the cough on your lips before you leave your house, and all the other do's and don'ts, it starts with being.
Okay.
Being meaning you spend time with the word to understand
it, to look beneath the surface, what it meant,
before you can get the message of what it means to you today.
Exactly, and you'll get a better message.
And then it makes you feel better about yourself.
Yes, of course.
It improves the connection with the divine.
Yes.
Hence, you now become that source of light to your world.
And you learn to analyze and be critical
and help
of
other people.
Situations around you.
Do you remember the case of Philip with the Ethiopian eunuch, right?
Yes.
Philip had apparently spent time to study and understand that particular passage in Isaiah.
He could
help
the Ethiopian.
And listen, it doesn't have anything to do with status. Philip was just a country boy running around barefoot or in sandals. This was an Ethiopian in his chariot, a distinguished elite or professional or high officer. But he didn't understand. What's the point? Sometimes we have persons in high positions of power who are going to make decisions which will not be based on a proper understanding of the given situation. Hence, they make decisions that affect our lives.
And when you say high persons of power, we are talking about high persons of power within the church.
And outside too.
But
within the church, of course.
Influences.
Yeah. So we're talking about the biblical text and how we understand or misunderstand and the implications thereof. My goodness.
There's so much here. There's so much here when we're just discussing and talking and scratching the surface.
But
and there is so much more.
We want our listeners to hear is that there's fixity and flexibility.
There is
in the oral transmission.
In the oral transmission, there's an application to the needs of the community.
Yes.
Words are the chronicle inconsistencies. Words are sometimes placed on the lips of the characters. It's very, very important. Permit me to just linger a little bit on this one here. The Ten Commandments, for example.
Okay. Tell me about
Most people do read it and not realize that. And I say this delicately now that people get very nervous about this one now. But when you read it carefully, you realize that aspects of it are words placed in the lips of God,
Seriously?
Yeah, because you see, first of all, it is a spoken communication. And God spoke all these words saying that when it was given first. It was written down centuries afterwards, and when you look at it 50 years afterwards, when you look at it, you have at least 3 different versions of it.
Oh, yes.
And not only that, just take one version all by itself, whichever one you want to take. Exodus 20, for example, the first two commandments. God is speaking in the first person.
Okay.
Commandments 3, 4, 5 going down, I think. He's being spoken of in the third person.
And the Lord said.
Right. So what is that saying? That someone is writing what they believed, understood God to be saying. That's the reason why now the Deuteronomy version and the Exodus 20 version and the Exodus 34 version, they are different in wording because words are being placed on the lips of God.
So you have a situation of the same events.
The same events.
And this time you have
the same person saying different things.
Oh, wow.
On the same event. No, we are not critiquing and trying to tear down the Bible. We are just acknowledging what is there. I did not write it. You did not write it. We are just looking at what is there objectively, and we are not being afraid to ask and the hard questions or to recognize the difficulties, if you may, because that's what we do in academia. And this channel is designed to bring the academic world to democratize the knowledge, so to speak. Yes. And it's right there. And guess what, Mrs. Bowling, as we close with this, for me, when I look at all of these complexities and difficulties, it helps me to be more loving. That's the end of it. You're more loving.
And you achieve that high position because you're able to become more loving because
you recognize, there's so many things. You recognize that one, God wishes to communicate with you orally as well, to talk to you, to hear. So you exactly. So you focus on that.
Just study the words.
The words as a means to an end, of course, to hear the audible voice of God. You come to realize that difference does not necessarily mean wrong.
What do you mean
by that? In other words, a person in another church, another denomination, etc., can have some truth as well, not just my church alone, and that another truth could be opposite to my truth
and still be correct.
And still be truth. Yes. We're going to unpack another one.
The
antinomy of truth. Huh? So it helps us to be more loving. It saves Christians toleration. It's saying from denominationalism, etc., more contrary to be diversity, unity, equity, diversity, equity. All of those things are what happen when we study the scriptures critically, as we are now doing.
So it's all like the scripture business has something to do with everyday life.
Everyday life.
And how we treat ourselves and how we treat one another. And I quickly say ourselves because sometimes we don't focus on ourselves and the importance of our own personal and professional development. We focus on how we interact with others. But we owe it to ourselves as a responsibility to spend time to really understand as accurately as possible what these ancient words are saying. They're ancient, you know.
Yes.
How many young people really understand, for example, the King James Version? But I really like the thought that we're leaving with today, that our Bible has been significantly influenced by the life circumstances of the
ancient world,
and they didn't understand to read and write the way we do today. We take it for granted, huh? But 90 to 95% of the population, you say, couldn't read and write. But the words are still important.
They're still important, and they're good for us.
But we have to try and understand.
Yes, yes. So I want to thank you so very much for listening to us, joining us here at Baldwin International Christian University Scholars Forum. Please continue to like and subscribe and share the word. Share the word. And support us as well. Support us as well as best as you can. Listen to us on Facebook and Instagram and other social media outlets. The Lord bless you real good. Take care of yourself with the Baldwins. And say, walk good. Bye-bye for now.
PICU Scholars Forum. Religion, science, culture, and truth. Inspiring minds, empowering voices, shaping the future for me and you. Now, Let the conversation begin. The Scholars Forum is calling you. Thank you for joining the BICU Scholars Forum, where scholarship meets purpose. BICU